Well, we're back with Erica Strong, author, celebrity stylist, and inspirational speaker. We just got finished talking about what really started you in the momentum of not just writing, but seeing that God had a point, or not a point, but a plan to use what you've gone through to help other women. And because I can talk to Erica all day, I definitely wanted to move forward. You had about 7 years that you got to see God take what was a tragedy and like turn it into like a beautiful thing. The book Battlefield of the Mind with Joyce Myers really inspired you. You got other women, and and you got women to come to your salon and talk, because everyone knows that you confide in your stylist if you don't confide in nobody else. Men have coaches in football and bars. We have our stylists. And these women came together, and you saw God like healing them through your obedience. You also had an opportunity to minister through your own hurt, because you heard even that your first husband, he got engaged, and it was announced in a national publication, and you didn't even know. You had an opportunity to walk through that, and even God silencing you. I mean, there's so much. But unfortunately, I know that there's other parts in your life. 7 years after your first marriage ended, you felt the release to get married again, and this time to an older man who's a pastor of a church. And you felt that, for better or for worse, the covenant you made was going to stick. But unfortunately, on one day you got a similar message from your husband saying he doesn't want to be married. And this is your second husband. And it almost sounds ridiculous for me to ask you, how did that impact you? But again, I understand that this also blindsided you, even to a greater degree, correct? Because there was a part when we were talking in the back about how when you went to church following this announcement, he scolded you because you were looking sad and crying through the whole service.
Right. Like you're not a human. You don't have emotions. You are a part of the church's image. Now fix it.
And he was expecting you to fix your image, to help his image, although he was walking out.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I understand sometime later, unbeknownst to you, you had found out that he was living a down low lifestyle. And for those of you who don't know down low, that there was some type of same-sex attraction or homosexuality. I mean, if you want to know more, read the book, Finishing Strong. Finishing Strong is right now being duplicated and prepared for distribution, correct? So soon you will be able to buy the book and not just hear the details of some of the traumatic times in your life, but how God helped you and is helping you to finish strong.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When people buy the book, it's not a tell-all. It's not. It's not.
And it ain't none of our business, really.
It's not a tell-all. It doesn't have a whole bunch of like details of the story. It gives you the story, but it gives you more of what I did. What did I do? How did I overcome? How did God heal me? How did God speak to me? How did God help other people in the process? How did I stay strong? So, you know, in the book you get the message of what happened, but the main message is, what did I do? How did I handle it?
Well, I mean, just you sitting here, I mean, God's grace. You know, people say, you don't know what I've been through. Like, you don't look like what you've been through. You don't look like what you've been through, but it's by the grace of God.
Absolutely.
As you know, we've been talking on the show today about reality television and Christian reality television. So you're now going to take what God has been doing in your life, your exposure to different people in the industry, your own life story, and now because you also do inspirational speaking, both in person and you have different shows on the internet, you're now opening your life up to be exposed through Christian reality television. Now tell me, why in the world would you consider taking this next step to literally have a show where people get to see your life even more exposed than most people would ever consider, especially given all the things that you're also prepared to share about your own life?
Right. And actually, I've used the term reality loosely because it's not the reality that everybody is expecting. It's not the drama and the craziness and all that. It's bringing love and peace and hope. Like your slogan, Elevision.
Yeah.
It's elevating television. Right. You know, so the concept of the reality show that I'm working on is clients talking to me in my element. You know, they come and they share things with me while they're getting their hair done, while they're at the salon, and we are talking about real life issues. Things that a woman probably wouldn't talk to somebody else about, but then they see somebody on TV getting their hair done, like they think they're watching a makeover show, but they're listening to the conversation like, oh my God, that happened to me. Or, are you watching this? This happened to you. Look at this. This is what they're talking about. So it's like opening up the dialogue for some of the things that women are embarrassed to talk about, don't want to talk about. And these are real life women, real life clients that have agreed to be just as transparent as myself and just talk. So the camera isn't following us at home.
Okay.
And everything that we eat and drink and do and say and da-da-da. It's just in that straight mode of ministry and elevation of TV. So you get some real life stories and some real life challenges, and then you're also getting some finishing strong with it, you know?
No, I understand. Excuse me. So you're going to allow cameras to come in and see what you do on a regular basis when it comes to talking to people, but they're not waking up and seeing you in rollers and on your phone conversations.
None of that is important, really. The meat of it is, how can I be healed and how can I help other people?
Now, you're going to be doing this reality show around the same time that this book is going to come out and share more intimate details. Are you ready for that type of exposure, if you will? Because now you won't just have people have like a cursory knowledge. They'll watch this show and think they know you. Are you ready for that type of exposure?
Honestly, I think I am. Well, I know that I am. And what I did is something that a lot of people don't think that's important. Right now, I'm pursuing my master's degree in marriage and family counseling. And I see how in taking this step for my master's in that degree is helping me to understand just the dynamics of the psychological process that we have to deal with in going through issues and how it can traumatize our lives and how we can treat it to go through it. But one of the things I've done is I've sought out my own therapist. I see a therapist.
Okay.
And I think it's the most amazing thing to do. And when I went to my therapist, I said, these are the things that are happening in my life now. And I am sharing more of my life than I have ever shared. And I want to make sure when I share it, I'm okay.
Right. That you're not hurting and ministering and not dealing with your own stuff.
Absolutely.
And that is so honest, because I know in the church, we often, especially if you're a leader, can I get an amen, somebody? You're expected to show that you have it all together, and you could be broken down in the corner after every service. You know, early in the show, we were talking about Mary with our panelists. And this season, Tina Campbell shared that, you know, her husband had cheated on her. And even as we watch as viewers, you'll see that he even confesses first to his brother-in-law, but then his wife, that he's had multiple affairs. And, I mean, and it's amazing because when you look at the video for that, she is literally preaching. I mean, she's talking about her husband, and he's on the stage singing, and you just heard that he's had multiple affairs. And as a person not only getting their master's, but also have gone through finding out about infidelity and just things with the marriage, do you think that that kind of information, not information, but that kind of depictions on reality television helps the church, or does it hurt the church? Me too. Look at us with our makeup on and our short, you know.
So, you know, I was raised in an environment that you had to look like you were perfect.
Yes.
You had to act like you were perfect. And then that to me caused a lot of judgmental attitude. I had a very judgmental attitude.
Me too.
It was a game for me and my sisters riding to church. And watching someone in pants or in makeup, she's not saved, he's not saved, somebody smoking a cigarette, he's not saved. We don't have a clue what their relationship with God is. We just assume the way that they look, if they say that they are a minister, if they say that they are, an artist, that they are perfect. So I think it's okay to show the imperfect places in your life, but in a way where you can show that, yes, I'm imperfect, but God, and how do you handle it? Are you going to respond like the world? Then that's not going to help.
Right. That's burning the cross. Yeah, that ain't helping.
But if you respond like, you know what, you made a mistake, I forgive you, God loves me, God loves you, we're going to work this thing out, and we're going to make it work. It's no judgment. No judgment. That's her relationship, but the fact that she shared her life is what she do with the platform now that, to me, you would consider hurting or helping the church.
Well, it's really interesting because if anybody knows reality television, what can be very tricky is that it's really up to the producers.
Right.
I mean, editing fixes and changes a lot of things. So you can be well-meaning and be on a show like earlier with the panelists, we were talking about Preachers of LA. Right. And, one of the ministers, Bishop McClendon, you don't really see him promoting it. It's like he felt he was set up. He felt that he can trust the producers. Yeah. With your reality show, who's producing your reality show, and how have you dealt with maybe some of those concerns as far as trusting what you film is what's going to actually be shown?
I'm telling you, Kim Fields is the producer.
Kim Fields, Tootie from Facts of Life?
She is. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to say that is that I've been doing her hair for a while now, and she agreed to write the foreword to my book, so I was so honored and so excited about that. So with her reading the book, she understands the message. So I don't have to worry about having a producer that don't understand the message.
And that's key.
And so when she approached me with the idea, Erica, she asked me, if you had this in a media form set, how would you do it? And I gave her the whole set, and she was like, let's do it. And I remember us sitting down in a planning meeting, and somebody was suggesting, making some other suggestions. And before I could even say anything, she said, no. We will be like a fly on the wall. We want this just as authentic as it's coming out, the way that she does it. This is what I want it to be.
And Kim Fields is a believer.
She's a believer.
And so that's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing.
In fact, you all have done and have already started promoting just aspects of what your ministry will be looking like. I think we have a clip of you doing some, recitations or
yeah, I have a blog. It's Finishing Strong, and I do it a lot on my website, which is...
and what's your website?
www.ericastrong.com.
ericastrong.com.
And I also have a group page on Facebook, and it's Finishing Strong. And so whenever I do my blogs, I'll have a affirmation, and it starts with repeat after me, because when you repeat after me, that means I have to say it too. And it ends with now believe it. So I think you guys have a clip with me and Kim saying one of those affirmations.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to show our audience the clip, but we just are so thankful. I understand, this is your first time really talking about some of the details. They're also going to be in your book, but just you've been very guarded and where God's trusted you with this story to bless other people. So thank you for coming to the Hope Show.
Sometimes you don't have the options of falling out, number one. You don't have the option of giving up. Not if you believe.
Right.
That's not an option. Sure, yes, take a minute to sit down and say, Lord, this one is, oof.
Right.
I'm gonna need a minute. This is a transition that's tough for me, and being honest with yourself and being honest with God. But the thing for me has always been, don't just stay there.
Right.
Don't stay there.
Right.
My dear friend Donnie was saying, we fall down, but we get up.
Get up. Right.
You have to get up. If you just stay down.
Right.
A boxer, when he's been hit and he goes down, the first thing his corner tells him, get up.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see straight, even if your head feels like it is on the floor on the other side of the ring, get up.
Yeah.
Because it's important to just, keep moving.
Right.
Keep moving,
right.
And from a physical standpoint, when you're exercising and you have that sense of, you're exercising, you're keeping everything moving. Nothing can settle
Yeah.
and turn into
Right.
curves we don't want or
We don't
need,
want 'em.
and and then become hazardous to our health. I'm not talking about just the the unwanted curve here and there that's making it unattractive in a swim suit or something, but the ones that start to get unattractive and inwardly, and affect your health.
Right.
And so again, just keep moving, keep moving. It helps you physically, it helps you mentally. God knows it helps you spiritually. Remember what God has done. Remember what God has done. And right now, our pastor's teaching, it's not just going to be, God is going to do something. It's God's doing something in a new way right now. So you can't just remember what He has done or how He has done it. All you need to know is, hey, I know God did this.
Exactly.
Our dear brother Ty always sings, if He did it before, He'll do it again. It's the same God right now. So it might not be the same exact way that He's going to do it, because He's God. Why would you want Him to keep doing stuff the same way?
Exactly.
He doesn't want us to keep praising Him the same way and praying the same prayers, but pray. And praise. So, for me, transition is also a time to celebrate. Hey, I'm not there. But I'm not quite there. I'm somewhere in between. But, at least I'm not there.
Right. I heard a great speaker say once, everybody want to say that they're overcomers, but you realize an overcomer have to overcome something.
Yes.
Every
indeed.
overcomer have a complication.
Absolutely.
So you have to overcome something to be an overcomer.
I'm more than a conqueror.
Yeah.
Well, you got
but
to
what are you
conquer
conquering?
something.
Exactly. You want the easy life, but you don't want
right.
the trial that comes with it.
Yeah.
And in those trials comes those transitions.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Guys, at the core of my being,
At the core of my being,
I am resurrection.
I am resurrection.
I have a power inside of me
I have a power inside of me
that can bring my life
that can bring my life
to its fullest expression.
to its fullest expression.
I express
I express
a constant state of being,
a constant state of being,
becoming,
restoring.
I am the highest being
I am the highest being
of nature with unlimited access
to
all that I need for my life over and over. I am resurrection.
I am resurrection.
Now believe it.
Now believe it.
Thank you guys so much. See you again. Bye-bye.